glasses on top of the head.
Yes.
Yes.
Or phone in your hand. Have you ever done that one?
Oh,
Where's my phone? Where's
yeah.
my phone? You're holding it. What the hell?
I've seen my wife do that because she won't even look for her phone anymore. She has the Apple Watch, so she'll just like buzz her phone or whatever anytime. Yep. And I've seen her do that before, where she has buzzed it and the phone is in her hand.
Happy New Year, Chew.
Happy New Year.
Oh, it's too late.
What do you mean?
No, yesterday was the last day.
Yeah, that's true. Yesterday was the last day.
But I haven't seen you guys
Doesn't
since
matter.
New Year's.
Yesterday was the last day you could wish somebody a Happy New Year.
No,
Missed
that's
your window.
ridiculous.
Yeah, sorry.
What do you mean, Mr. Window? Oh, there's a window.
Missed your window.
window.
I thought you were calling like a Mr. or Mr.
The name of a
Misty.
new
I
band.
just killed the Mr. guy.
Yeah. Mista. Oh, missed your window. I thought you were calling me Mr. Window.
Nope.
Like somebody who has a firm window of when things can happen. You can understand where I'm coming from there. I haven't seen you guys since New Year's. So if I see you, the first time I see you, I can say Happy New Year.
What's the first time you see us is October.
But it's not.
But I'm just saying, what if it is?
But it's not.
So
It's
you
the
recognize there is. It's the 4th.
It's the 4th. Oh, please, come on. Like, there's no excuse for me not knowing the day of the week.
I'm surprised you know what time zone you're in.
Honestly, I am also surprised about that. So you can't say Happy New Year anymore. Can we put that on the poll? If this is the first time I'm seeing you guys, I should be able to say Happy New Year as a salutation.
What Adam Schefter said yesterday, and typically what Adam Schefter says goes around here.
That's true. I'm not going to sit here and consistently argue with Adam Schefter. He certainly is more informed than I am, but I believe he was taking his cues from Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Correct.
And I don't know if Curb Your Enthusiasm across the board should be your Bible for how to act.
Might be though.
What?
Seinfeld's our Bible here, and that's kind of JV Bible, so I think that kind of works.
Curb being JV Bible is a great pop by you this morning. All right, well, we're going to put it on the poll and see if you can still wish people. I feel like the week of should be okay. I feel like if you're within a week of New Year's, and especially because I wasn't here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Today is Thursday, right?
Yep,
Yeah,
nailed it.
I'm definitely pulling a full week here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. You're lucky I showed up today. I got home from Salt Lake City at 1:30.
Should have just come right here.
I would have had better sleep if I came right here.
Could have slept on one of the couches out there.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Sleep on the couches?
No.
I think people have frogged in this building, Chew. I don't know if they frogged on all the couches.
Of course they have.
Yeah, but I won't. I would have no way of knowing. But I got a black light in my Mary Poppins bag.
Speaking of frogging, we found Frank.
Oh, thank goodness!
Yes.
I was very concerned about that.
I was too.
For those who may have missed yesterday's show, Frank Winters was missing. Chewy was responsible for him, and Frank never showed up at his house.
He missed curfew. There's a curfew when you stay here.
Mr. Curfew is what you meant.
Yes.
Chewy is Mr. Curfew.
Yeah, what is that about? Why do people have to be in at a certain time at your house?
Because all the doors get locked.
So unlock them.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
Chewy's house, Chewy's rules.
Yeah. No, but they found him. He was over at a friend's house. I got two different stories. One from the friend, one from Frank. But you know what? I'm just happy everyone is gone. Get out of my house. Right? Isn't that nice, like after summer break with the kids, that they're actually back? It is wonderful. No?
I think the best thing about having people over is when they leave.
You do?
Yes.
Why do you have them over at all?
I enjoy them while they're there, but after
Doesn't sound like you do.
I'm fun at parties.
Are you sure that you enjoy having
I just
people
like
over?
having my domain back. I'm with Chew.
When Mark Murphy said complicated fella, he was actually talking about Josh DiMaggio. Because all of these things, like, I'm just sitting over here as somebody who's known Josh for however long I've known him, just shaking my head like, yep, Josh hates people, but he also loves parties. Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's a contradiction.
Checks out. So people leaving is your favorite part of people having people over, huh?
Jen, I like your hat.
Oh, you can see my hat?
Oh, wait, do you have your computer working?
Yeah, I'm up. I dealt with computer arrogance today. Unbelievable. It's just, my wife's been gone on a business trip, just came back, upset at me because I can't figure out the computer. So I said, all right, brown right, F left, 72 XL across. What's the X got on the back side? I have no idea. Oh, really?
Wait, why does it bother you so much that people know more about computers than you?
Because everyone expects me to know as much as them, and I don't. Gabe, explain away.
It's not that people know, because he accepts that people know more about computers. It is, yes, the expectation that he's supposed to know the basics when, and then people get frustrated, like, well, how do you don't know this? And he just gets flustered, and so the computer arrogance of everyone comes out, and it makes him feel, lesser than.
Wait, did you just show up on the stream?
Yes, for the week. The first time.
Well, in that case, I like your hat also, Chew. Good to see you, bud.
Do you guys know how to set up email on a computer? Is it easy? On a scale of 1 to 10, how easy is it?
Well, see, now we're going to be accused of being computer arrogant or email arrogant.
If I say amongst the easiest things you can do, how would you respond?
Say that again.
It is amongst the easiest things to do.
No way, it is not. Is it?
Would it
Is
shock
a
you to
3?
know that Chase has email?
Does he know how to set it up on a computer?
Yeah, of course. I didn't set it up for him. He set up his own email.
See, you guys are, Gabe, you're 1,000% right. Because the robots will take over. And you guys are going to be so caught up in your computer arrogance that you're not going to know real world survival tactics on how to defeat the robots. So, you'll all be coming back to me. Chewy, is it okay to eat this acorn? Yep. It's fine.
What are you going to do?
Wait a minute. We're listening to the rant right now.
We're going to come for you because you're going to be responsible.
You're the enemy.
By funding the robot revolution.
Yeah, but I could be a spy. You ever think of that?
No.
Yes.
No.
Wait, so you're just pretending to be pro-robot? Is that what you're getting at?
Are there people out there like me that really don't know how to? I think there are. Like, if you're over 50, you probably really don't know how to use a computer.
I mean, I'd say over 70.
Well, you know how to use a computer, don't
Yeah.
you? I mean, a little
Turn it
tap on the letters and whatnot. Josh is skeptical.
Like, I know this, Jen. Control, Alt, Delete does something. I don't know what it does, but I know it's kind of
Chewy
like...
was right? Holy, Chewy was right.
Are you trying to tell me that if you ever get in a jam with your computer, you're just Control-Alt-Deleting your way
Yes.
through the problem?
Pull when in trouble. Yes. That's my go-to. Why? What does it do?
It's like he's taking the cartridge out and blowing on it.
It restarts the computer.
Oh, perfect. See?
You
I
can
knew
close
it did
programs
something.
that way, too, if something freezes.
Yeah, because you have to do Control-Alt-Delete twice to officially reboot it.
So
No, be careful. You guys are starting to sound a little computer arrogant over here. We don't want our guy to blow a fuse.
Yeah, so I got it now. I'm up.
Do we
We're good.
need to name your pink computer? Should we name it? I mean, maybe something as simple as Pinky. You know what I mean? The ghost
Pinky
from
Tuscadero from the Happy Days? Yeah.
2 in the...
Well, here's the problem.
Oh,
Why
you
would you
stop
do that?
Right, come on. It is 7:09. It is 2024. It's a new
You wanna-
year,
you wanna
new
call
me type of thing.
What? I didn't
Nobody
hear what he...
believes that.
But you could, though. I've only been on the air for 9 minutes in 2024. That's distinctly possible. I'm not the one that made the vagina joke.
Here we go. Jen's back. Woohoo!
But I'm not the one.
Yeah, you said the word.
But you started it. You started
He
it.
did. That's what
tricked you
Josh
into
does.
it.
Yeah, he's an instigator.
Yeah, exactly.
And an agitator.
Thank you. I was wondering that the other day, too.
Yeah.
Is there a difference between an instigator and an agitator? I mean, now in like the social media world, you've got all these people who are like pro disruptor, right? That's a big buzzword, right? I'm a disruptor, right? Isn't that the same thing as an agitator or an instigator?
I would think.
Somebody says they're a disruptor. They don't have a job, right?
Wait, they disrupted the flow of cash to their bank account? Is that what they did?
What do you do? Oh, I'm a disruptor. Oh, okay. So you really don't do anything. Good to know. Just meant to make yourself sound important.
Can we get a name non-sexual for Chewy's pink
Well, I mean,
computer?
I don't know. Josh wanting to call it the Shocker is.
I think that's a perfect name.
Did you hear that conversation yesterday, Jen?
About the pink computer? I agree. They should tell you. Yes, that
Yeah.
lady at Walmart did you dirty.
But I don't
Not
have a
because
problem
it's
with it.
pink, just because you got something at home that you didn't think you were getting at the store, and I'd be
You
hacked
expected
off
one
about
thing.
that. Yeah.
Like if it was neon green or whatever color, if you wanted just a neutral color, yeah.
But here's the first question out of my wife's mouth. Did you save the box? Why would you save the box?
if you want to return
in
it.
case it was pink. On the off chance.
But the thing works. How long do you hold on to a computer box?
This is a great question because especially with the Apple products, people hold on to their iPhone boxes, their Apple Watch boxes, and their MacBook boxes, and there's nothing you can do with them.
True, but
They're
I also
just
think
30.
that when they first came out, there was something cutting edge about the structure. And, like I watch some of these people on Instagram and they're doing reviews on makeup or something, and they always talk about the packaging, right? And how the packaging plays such a huge role in people's desire to purchase. So the Apple box for the iPhone was a big thing when it came out, right? It was like sleek how it slides off, and then the headphones were wrapped in this really cool kind of way. I think at the beginning it was more of like, this is kind of a cool packaging. But you're right. Once you're stacking up 3 or 4 of them, gotta go. Same thing with the iPad.
But then a TV, throw a 55-inch TV box into the equation. How long are you supposed to hold on to that?
Once I plug the TV in and it works,
It's gone?
it's gone.
So we save our TV boxes because we move. Famously, we move, and we do think we're going to be here for a while, but we have moved.
You just put a hefty investment into the
I was going to
foundation
say,
of your house.
but we're coming up on about. We've been here for about 4.5 years now, so we're coming up on about that time where we would have to move to another city. No, I think we're pretty well locked in here in Milwaukee. But prior to that, we were bopping around from city to city, and if you can put your TV back in the box, it is safer to give to the moving guys.
I think that, Jen, is a male-female thing. I think Dario wants to get rid of the thing and get it out of his sight, and you hold on to it.
Million
My
percent
wife's
wrong.
the same way.
He is the one who holds on to the boxes. I would start a fire in the backyard if I could with them.
Okay.
Which, by the way, is what I did on Christmas morning when we had all that wrapping paper and all the boxes and stuff. Just went right out to the fire pit, started it up, because that's what my dad used to do when we were kids. I think it was his way of getting out of the cacophony of noise. And he'd be like, I'm going to go burn some stuff. So in honor of him, I did do that on Christmas morning.
Respect.
Just stood out there.
Also represents all the money flying out the door.
There's multiple meanings there.
He always had his back to the window, so we don't know. But you're right. He probably was grumbling under his breath.
See, I just bag it and throw it in the nearest dumpster.
Is it your dumpster?
I just bag it and throw it in the nearest dumpster.
Hold on. Are you I have too much garbage, so I'm going to take it to the gas station that's nearby and throw it in their garbage?
I mean, I allegedly have done that before. Yes.
Wait.
Is that wrong?
As long as you don't throw it in your neighbor's garbage, because people are very, very territorial over their garbage bins. Now, I had this conversation over Christmas as well, because we hosted Christmas, so we had all the garbage. So the stuff that I didn't burn, like food refuse and all that stuff, you can't burn that. That's really bad. But my sister, who lives in River Hill, said they have unlimited garbage pickup. So you can just go bag after bag after bag after bag after bag next to your can, and they'll take it all. Not the case in Mequon. So we were like, hey, can you take some of the garbage with you? So they threw it in the back of their car and brought it to their house. It's like 4 minutes away, but they have the luxury of unlimited garbage pickup.
Yeah, that's just smart. That's just that's using the resources at your disposal.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And she had no problem with it. If she had a problem with it, no, we're not doing it. We're not like, take the garbage. Take it. Take our garbage.
If you're holding like the gross, like really wet garbage bag where it's like dripping a little bit out of it, yes, you probably don't want to throw that in your car.
She did ask for us to double bag them, which I thought was a reasonable request, considering she was taking our garbage. We got to get to Jason Wilde this morning to talk a little Packers-Bears. It is a big, big week for the Green Bay Packers. Not sure we ever thought we would be in this situation. Of course, you knew we'd play the Bears in the final week of the season, but it's a win and you're in situation, lose and you are most likely out. So we'll talk to Jason Wilde about that, but I do want to get a name for Chewy's pink computer. So if you have any suggestions for us, 800-990-3776, you can weigh in on our ESPN Milwaukee talk and text line, or you can give us a call. As long as they are mostly clean. As you guys discussed, we have standards on this show. Jason
No,
Wilde.
we don't have standards.
Coming up next.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
So far, so good out on the roads. Not seeing too many issues around the area. Volume is relatively light as well, though it is starting to pick up a little bit. Not seeing any delays just yet. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Sun and clouds mixed with a high of 33. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 25. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
The stage is set. It's Michigan and Washington battling for the title. This is Boucher Automotive College Football Championship Week. Tune into our coverage all week long and catch the game right here on 94.5 ESPN on January 8th. With 16 new car brands, over 35 pre-owned brands, and 5,000 vehicles in stock, Boucher Automotive is where you'll find your next ride. It's Boucher Automotive College Football Championship Week on 94.5 ESPN.
Q Club of Wisconsin is your hangout spot for watching sports, playing games, and having some drinks. Mike, what do you have going on over there?
Gary, we have so much going on. We're still the place to be on game days to catch the green and gold. Book a holiday party in our VIP room, which includes a private pool table, 2 shuffleboard tables, and 4 dartboards. Plus, we have great live music every Saturday night. And of course, we've got our fish fry on Wednesdays and Fridays, where we pile it high.
All happening at the Q Club of Wisconsin, North Grandview Boulevard in Waukesha. Check out qclubofwisconsin.com.
At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save up to 40% on molding bulk savings packs. And there's more. Save up to 25% on drywall boards when you buy in bulk. Visit us in-store or online for low prices on the materials you need. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details.
If you're just tuning in, this is Fan 23, Fansville's #1 sports radio station.
Brought to you by Tasty Dr. Pepper.
We are settling the great debate, best third quarter snack, hot dogs or nachos?
You know my mantra, Doug.
Yes.
Meaty early, cheesy late.
Well, it looks like we have a caller here to weigh in. Is this Chuck?
Popcorn in the third is the move.
What?
You go with passive snacking after halftime.
No, it's nachos.
Look, as long as there's an ice cold Dr. Pepper there to wash it down, I'm good with either. Dr. Pepper, the one fans deserve.
Get your game on at the Island Resort and Casino with first-round picks of your favorite slots and table games. Watch your team compete on big screens in Team McSee's Sports Bar or the Sports Illustrated Sportsbook Room. Yes, you can bet the spread, parlays, futures, and more with Sports Illustrated Sportsbook at Island Resort and Casino. Your place to bet on sports. To book a game-time getaway at the Island, call 800-682-6040 today.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Ready, down, put. All Packers, all the time.
He has come light years in the last 2 months, and people should be over the moon excited about that.
Okay, most of the time.
Almonds specifically or all nuts?
Well, these nuts, those nuts, whatever nuts work.
It's Jason Wilde on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Brought to you by Boucher Automotive. With 16 different new car brands and over 35 pre-owned brands to choose from. Boucher Automotive. We are driven by you.
We always appreciate our pal Jason Wilde joining us on the show, giving us a little insight to the green and gold. Good morning, Jason. How are you today?
Good morning, everyone. I'm great. How are you?
Tired. But no one cares about that, so we'll keep moving. Very tired. Actually landed at Milwaukee at 1:15. No, 12:45, home by 1:30. But I'm going to sleep after the show.
How much did you sleep then? Did you sleep at all?
No, because I was telling the guys, the girls climbed into bed with us last night. And I think they're dealing with a little bit of separation anxiety because my schedule is just like so chaotic and they don't know when mom is there and when she's not. And so last night they realized I got home. And so they were like, well, we are going to saddle right up to you and not let you out of our sight. And so it was a rough one for us. But I told the guys, like, that phase is going to end. They're not going to be like 17 and wanting to climb into bed with mom and dad. I mean, your girls are older. When's the last time they climbed into bed with you guys?
Great question. It still happens with Sydney. She's 12. But generally speaking, you're right. They're independent people. Now, I would say this. From my traveling days, and obviously Sunday night for the Vikings game, I did travel. But, like, there would be times where it would be a night game, and then I would have, like, a 6 a.m. flight. And that's always the decision to make, right? Like, don't sleep at all, or is it worth the sleep 2 hours and then get back up and go to the airport. I always chose sleep because the one time I didn't, I was wrecked for like the next 4 days. So even if it's 2 hours, I usually want to get it, but I didn't have children back then climbing into bed.
Do all your pets sleep in the bed with you, Jason?
Yeah, I've got kind of a Dr. Doolittle thing going on,
Do they each have their own place? Like, do they know where their spot is in the bed?
No, there's no assigned seating. And
Wait, so it's just a free-for-all? Somebody's, try to get closest to you?
Yes, and sometimes it causes some consternation. So, as I think some people know, we went a little overboard with the number of animals we have in our house. 2 dogs, 6 cats who all have distinct personalities. So some of them like me, some of them like Paula, some of them like Sydney, and some of them like Maddie. Now, there is one cat who has cost us a small fortune, as you know. His name is AJ, who our old buddy Chris Jenkins, who used to write for the Associated Press, and his amazing wife Becky, took this cat in, and he's a jerk. And so he was a jerk to their cat. So they asked us to help them rehome him, and Paula instead decided to rehome him to our house, as if we're like some sort of cat rescue. And not only is he a jerk, but he also has a death wish and has consumed things 3 times that have caused intestinal blockages. I just made another payment on our surgery, the last surgery that he had. So we still owe our veterinarian over $2,000, which is awesome. And right, Chewy, that's the proper response, except I'm so, Homer calls Matt LaFleur soft all the time. Matt LaFleur is like Vince Lombardi compared to me. So
I'm just picturing your house. I picture your house like Evan Almighty, Jason.
No, Ace Ventura, right?
Open the door and all these animals fly in.
Jingling the keys in the lock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Ace Ventura. I sit on the couch and let these birds eat seeds out of my belly button. Look, so
good luck with that visualization, Chew.
Yeah, but so he lives in Maddie's room full time now because I said, look, Eve and I have a breaking point, and if he has the ability to roam our home, he's going to eat something he shouldn't. And Maddie is very, how should I say this, particular. So her room is immaculate. Like, I don't know any kid that is as fastidious as she is. So it's the only place he can live safely. So we go in and visit him so he doesn't get separation anxiety, but he's not allowed to roam the house because otherwise I'd be paying for another surgery because, I can't just kill him. So that's kind of the update on how we operate around here.
Jason, in your estimation, did the Packers have any Pro Bowl snubs?
Well, no, I don't think they had any snubs. Now, Elton Jenkins is a great guard, but he was injured early in the year. He came back quickly because some people play through injury, not everybody, but some, and didn't play all that well by his own admission, so that didn't help. The crazy thing, and the reason why the Pro Bowl is and always will be, whether they're playing flag football or a real football game, the reason it's bogus is that Jair Alexander is an alternate at corner, and Jordan Love isn't even an alternate at quarterback. Like, I didn't think he was going to be voted in. Tausch, I think, thought he was going to be the first alternate, but he had predicted he'd be a Pro Bowl quarterback. He was not even an alternate. And he obviously had a chunk of the season where he wasn't very good. That's what happens. He also, I think, has had his push in terms of how well he's played after they had to turn in their ballots.
Which was what, the end of the month, or when did they turn in the ballots? Because I was curious about that as well.
So fan voting ended, which is a third of starters, on Christmas, and coaches, players was the 29th, December 29th.
So he won Offensive Player of the Week literally 2 days after the ballots were in.
Correct.
So maybe that would have changed how people voted. I'm not sure. All I'm saying is that that is Jair Alexander's name was recognizable to the players and to maybe coaches, I guess, but certainly players. I mean, he's played 7 games and not all that well in the 7 games. So, look, I don't think anybody got snubbed. They're one of 4 teams to not have any Pro Bowlers. I also think that Rashawn Gary has been inconsistent. He's had 3 sack games, and then he's had games where he's been invisible, even in terms of pressure. So I don't think they've got anything to complain about, but maybe that is another way to kind of motivate and feel some sort of chip on their shoulder.
You bring up Jair Alexander as a Pro Bowl alternate, but he seemed different. Were you a part of the locker? Were you in front of his locker yesterday? Did you witness the scrum that he had?
I was not in it. I watched it afterward. I was doing something else. But I would say this. He did seem authentically contrite. Did you think the same thing?
I did.
Contrite is exactly the word that I thought when I watched it.
So, again, I mean, whether or not that's temporary, whether that's permanent, what those conversations were like. I mean, that's great that LaFleur said they had a great conversation. I would love to know more of the substance and, maybe down the road, especially if this actually takes. It's something that, we'll talk about down the road when he's back to his all-pro form and still here next season. But, again, it was a very good sign yesterday, but that doesn't mean that it is permanent. So, but yeah, and look, I have not been perfect in my ability to diagnose whether someone is being genuine or not. I remember being a first-year guy on the beat and on Chewy's team in 1996 when Andre Rison showed up, and thinking I bought everything he said about being a changed man. Now I don't think he's bad moon rising all the time, but I did not. I fell hook, line, and sinker for that. I totally fell for Martellus Bennett, who was a complete phony. So my track record is pretty good, but not unblemished. But I thought yesterday he came off as authentic.
Jason, big week this week, obviously, as the Packers take on the Bears in a win-and-you're-in type of situation, much like last year against the Detroit Lions. And Josh, you put a great question together. Is this he said, this is the biggest Packers regular season game since blank.
Last year?
I don't think
Yeah, I mean, look, I kind of got after the big fella on our program because, we had this debate about how much better this team is than last year's team. And I do think that, and I've teased him about this, that he's swung with the pendulum. And then I'd like to bring up the visual, speaking of great visuals.
Miley Cyrus. Please be Miley Cyrus.
Miley Cyrus. Miley Cyrus.
Yes.
So take Miley Cyrus off the wrecking ball, put Tausch on top of it in the same outfit. Yeah. And let me know how that goes for you. But, I mean, he's done that all year. And I think people forget last year, like, they won 4 in a row going into that Detroit game. Like, in both instances, they soundly beat the Vikings the week before. But, like, they had a 4-game winning streak going. They beat the Rams with an actual quarterback as opposed to Brett Rippon. I understand that Baker Mayfield was had not been there for that long, but he had played really well the week before in his, I think, first game with the Rams. I just thought that their momentum was far more legitimate than holding on for dear life against Bryce Young and the team that's going to be in the first pick spot and then give it to the Bears. And then the Vikings team that I still, I think I said this to you guys earlier in the week, like, I thought they lost the game as soon as they picked Jaron Hall to be their starting quarterback for that game. So, I understand the recency bias and whatever else, but, I mean, I thought Aaron Rodgers had finally kind of figured things out with his young receivers. Their defense was playing decent. The Vikings team that they beat came in with Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson. I mean, and T.J. Hawkinson. Like, they were a legit Vikings team as to whatever they put out there on Sunday night. Like, I just thought that they were really rolling last year, and I was stunned that they lost at home to a team that had nothing to play for. So I do think that we have gotten swept up in both the positive moments and the negative ones with this team, because whether you're a reporter or a fan or an analyst or whatever you may be, this has still been uncharted territory for us in terms of knowing how to handle a season like this. Like, they had a 5-game losing streak last year. Rodgers broke his thumb to start it. I know everybody forgets that because he's, not everyone's favorite person anymore. But this team has been much more wildly inconsistent than that team was. But I do think they're going to get the job done, unlike last year's team.
Is Musgrave going to play, Jason?
I think that's going to be I don't think it's off the table. I think that's a question that I would like to ask LaFleur today, and I would love to see Luke in the locker room. He's not big on the whole media thing. We're giving out our Mully Award tomorrow for the stand-up guy, and it's a beautiful trophy, I got to say. But he's not really great about that part of the job at this point, so I don't have a good feel for him at all. But I think he's ramped up what he's been doing. I think there's a maybe less than 50% chance that he plays, but at least there's some sort of chance. And then if they win, I figure that percentage chance would jump up significantly for him being able to play in a playoff game.
Last thing for you, Jason. I've always assumed that the Bears-Packers rivalry, maybe because of its history, is one of the fiercest rivalries in the NFL. And again, maybe proximity and whatnot is affecting that. But I have gotten some pushback on social media that the Packers-Vikings rivalry is actually stronger. And so Joshy also asked us this morning, are the Bears the most enjoyable team for Wisconsin sports fans to beat? And maybe it's not an exact parallel, but I think there's a bunch of people out there that think it's the Vikings. What do you think as far as the team that's most enjoyable for Wisconsin sports fans to beat?
Yeah, I'm just glad that Joshy phrased the question the way he did, because it shows the reality of rivalries, which is players don't have rivalries. It's a fan-based thing only. Like, Ditka and Nitschke, and then when Ditka and Forrest Gregg were coaching against each other, like, Charles Martin body slamming Jim McMahon. Like, there were rivalries. Again, I feel like with Chewy, we go down this road on a regular basis where we talk about the old days, and I'm as guilty as anybody. But I don't think there's rivalries with players anymore. Like, Mike Sherman used to show the players a historical video every Packers-Bears week. Matt LaFleur doesn't do that. I mean, the meeting rooms used to have photographs, like black and white or sepia-toned photographs of guys that played that position at an elite level in the Packers' history. Now they've got pictures of the guys that are in the room. Like, history and rivalries for today's player are non-existent. They are here for today. They don't distinguish. They know that they're supposed to say this is a rivalry game, and they will, but they don't care. This is about fans. So and not being one, I just think this has been a fascinating season. However you choose to feel more intensely about a division opponent is great for you. But I'll be curious to see how that balloting turns out. I'll say that.
All right, Jason, we appreciate you hanging out with us this morning. Have a great one. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.
All right, get some rest. Take care. Be good.
We'll certainly try. He's Jason Wilde. You can hear him on Wilde and Tausch right after Jen, Gabe, and Chewy right here on ESPN Milwaukee and on all of our other programs at various times during the day. All right, let's get to that. This is the biggest Packers regular season game since blank. Is it just last year when they played the Detroit Lions in a win-and-you're-in situation as well? Is it prior to that? Let us know, 800-990-3776. And are the Bears the most enjoyable team for Wisconsin sports fans to beat? Because I got pushback last week. I think, Joshy, I mentioned something with maybe Adam Schefter or somebody, maybe it was Rob Domofsky, about the devil and the Bears and whatnot. And I had people on social media saying, actually, it's the Vikings. The Vikings are the most hated team if you're a Green Bay Packers fan. And I didn't know if that was revisionist history because Bears have been donkey over the last X number of years, and the Vikings have actually been surging. 800-990-3776. We'll get to that right after this.
Full show podcasts, interviews, and special content is available right now at WisconsinOnDemand.com. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on 94.5 ESPN.
We've got a good ride shaping up across the area, not seeing too many delays. Volume's just starting to pick up a little bit around the area, but nothing major, though. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, sun and clouds with a high of 33. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 25. Traffic is brought to you by the Neal Group. They know how to minimize your taxes to keep more money in your pocket. Visit nealgroup.net. That's nealgroup.net. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazagon, 94.5 ESPN.
With tens of thousands of satisfied patients across America, it's no surprise QC Kinetics gets 5-star reviews.
I'm feeling on top of the world because of QC Kinetics. I'm able to do the things that I wasn't able to do for a long time.
I can recommend them highly. I would recommend QC to anybody. QC Kinetics has changed my life.
I couldn't believe it. I honestly was skeptical, but the pain went from a 10 to a 0.
Real people with real lasting relief from joint pain.
QC Kinetics Regenerative Medicine is regenerating me.
It was super successful, and I recommend everyone seek out QC Kinetics as an alternative to surgery.
This non-surgical approach is definitely the future.
I tell as many people as possible. I am an ambassador. I love QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in advanced regenerative medicine. No drugs, no surgery. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
It's a mystery where Old Spice finds its amazing scents like Himalayan sea salt, but I'm thrilled they have because no other body wash exfoliates and moisturizes 24/7 like Old Spice Gentleman's Himalayan sea salt body wash. Now, if only there was a mountain range separating the Indian subcontinent from the Tibetan plateau where I could hide my Old Spice and keep my family from stealing it, my impossibly smooth skin will finally be safe.
Progressive presents 10 things on a plumber's to-do list that are harder than getting a small business insurance quote. Waking up for 5 a.m. plumbing disasters, finding out why water is pouring from the ceiling while telling a customer to leave the room, replacing a pipe in a home from the 1800s, then dealing with invoices or your awkward apprentice or that really weird smell, and then there's breathing and eating and, of course, clogs. But the easiest thing on any small business owner's to-do list? Seeing if you could save on the business insurance that's right for you. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliated and third-party insurers.
TaxAct knows you don't look forward to taxes. TaxAct doesn't even look forward to taxes, and TaxAct is a tax software company. It's basically TaxAct's whole thing. If TaxAct did things over, maybe TaxAct would end up teaching kindergarten or leading fly fishing tours. But that's a different story for a different ad. So why don't we just agree that taxes aren't fun, but you still have to do them? TaxAct's filing software can help you do that. TaxAct. Let's get them over with.
Hey, what's up? I'm Elle Duncan, host of The Elle Duncan Show. If you're looking for a podcast that gives you a little bit about a lot and a lot about nothing, you've come to the right place. There's pop culture, there's sports, really anything that we find particularly interesting that you're talking about on social media. And oh yeah, I do it with this guy named Gary Streisky, who's a homie.
Hey, Elle, what's going on? Thanks for the mention. Can I get on the graphic now?
No. Follow and listen to The Elle Duncan Show wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
He sounds like the Beatles.
What?
Anyone?
This is a new one on me.
Listen
Even
to
I
his
don't
interview,
know.
the way he talks. He sounds like Paul McCartney. Ringo farted and it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible.
On 94.5 ESPN.
I do think that there is some recency bias taking place here when it comes to the Packers' rival. Or more specifically, this question that Joshy put out to us this morning, are the Bears the most enjoyable team for Wisconsin sports fans to beat? The interesting thing about Wisconsin sports fans is that includes all sports. I know we're in football season, but I could probably make an argument right now, given all of the circumstances, that the Cubs would be on that list as well. Couldn't I, Gabe?
Now.
You could. Well, before you
saying.
could have. Yes. Yeah. Even now.
Now, for sure. The Brewers beating the Cubs would be very satisfying, as often as that may or may not happen going forward. But specifically for the NFL season, are the Bears the most enjoyable team for Wisconsin sports fans to beat? Is it the whole big brother, little brother thing that's got you thinking that, Joshy? You know, like this inferiority complex that Milwaukee and Wisconsin sports are often accused of when it comes to being compared to Chicago sports?
Yeah, I think it's multi-layered. I think the Bears being so close and Chicago being so close matters a lot. And I think watching the Packers continually dismantle the Bears makes it even more fun. Like, you really, for a long time, we never really had any doubts about beating the Bears. The Packers have beat them 9 consecutive times. So it's like, that's fun. I've known what to expect every time you face the Bears.
So that makes it enjoyable.
Yeah.
Because what I was saying, Gabe, is that I got pushback on social media of somebody saying that the Vikings are actually the Packers. And again, I want to be careful on the verbiage because it wasn't implicitly defined, but basically their biggest rival?
No, it's always going to be the Bears.
But you hate the Vikings.
Not as much as I hate the Bears.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. I hate the Bears. I hate the Vikings. You can't really hate the Lions.
You almost root for them in a way this year.
I found myself.
If we're not going to win
I actually found myself rooting, and again, rooting, has various levels, but for the Lions last year. Not because I wanted them to win, but I was like, they were like the plucky underdog, right? Yeah. And Dan Campbell, was this fascinating character, and he really stood out amongst the boring NFL head coaches. And so there was this whole idea of I'd like to see what those guys can do, once they get their feet under them.
They haven't won a playoff game since 1992.
Right.
They're not a threat. So
it's like when people were rooting for the Browns. Now there was beer attached to that, when they busted open those coolers and whatnot. But it's not like everybody was like, oh, the Browns are going to be a juggernaut one day, so we don't want to let them get any momentum. No, you were like, good for them. That's wonderful. And then back to watching actual football teams. So you're right. The Lions were not part of that. Chew, what were you going to say? From
a player standpoint, you hate players. You don't hate teams, really. I mean, you just don't. We hated Minnesota because I hated their players. We beat I think I lost to the Bears one time in my career. And they knew, pretty much when you're at the top of the heap and you're playing the Bears, you're going to win. And they actually know they're going to lose. So it loses the juice. But for us, we just hated, we hated Minnesota's defense, We actually liked the San Francisco players, but hated the Dallas players because they have that Dallas arrogance. Never really hated. I guess I hated the teams because we lose to them in the playoffs, but we respected them because they were so good. Dallas might have been that Dallas team. I would love to see that. I don't know what year it is. 92, 93, 94. That Dallas team play the 85 Bears to determine who was the best NFL team ever.
And for me, some of this is also the Bears have a more rabid fan base to me than the Vikings do.
Is that part of it?
I think that's part of it. So there's there's a give and take. So if the Vikings would have won, if they wouldn't have started Jaron Hall and started whatever and ended the
any
Packers
other
season,
competent quarterback.
If the Vikings would have started somebody who's could play quarterback last week and they ended the Packers season by knocking them out, that would have sucked. But it would have sucked because the Packers were out of the playoffs.
But Bears fans,
no Vikings fan was going to call in here and rub our faces in it.
Jump in your mentions and try to make you feel bad about it or worse about it.
If the Packers lose to the Bears on Sunday, I cannot imagine the number of people who are Bears fans that are going to listen to our postgame show, who are going to call in, who are just going to rub our noses in it that the Bears were the ones to end their season. So that's part of it. It's I don't want to lose more than I want the Packers almost to win this game because of the consequences of what would happen with that Bears fan base against the Packers.
800, go ahead, Chew.
They're delusional because my doctor's a Bears fan and he's a moron, They actually, you're going to suck again next year, okay, Bears? Yeah. This is their Super Bowl. They're just delusional. Every time you talk to them, you're like, I don't even know an analogy for it. They're just annoying.
But if it's their Super Bowl, don't they come at it with a little more oomph?
Great, wonderful.
Are you telling me you're not concerned at all about the Bears beating the Packers this weekend?
I could care less. Doesn't matter. The season's already
Chewy,
a glowing success.
You're not going to want to go to the doctor if the Bears win this game. I assure you.
I've got a very important question about the doctor thing.
Yeah.
If you deem your doctor a moron, should you stop going to said doctor?
No.
It's a fair question.
So
fair
when
question. You should answer it,
Think
Chew.
we're going to have to pause all other conversations at this point, big guy.
So when I see him, he works in the garden the day before. Do I care? No, have at it. That's why they have antibiotics.
Oh, my
You know what I'm
goodness.
talking about.
We do. And I know what you're talking about, unfortunately.
So who cares? Great. Oh, you won. Good. Enjoy 8 and 9 next year at best. You stink. You're garbage. I mean, Bears fans, if you could put two teams right next to one another and say, all right, choose a team. You don't think behind closed doors 98% of Bears fans are saying, I'm going with the Packers. I want them as my.
Now, if the Packers lose that game, they will be 8-9 this year.
Yeah,
so.
they'll have the exact same record with winning.
I
the
know,
last game.
but who looks a hell of a lot more promising for the future?
Yeah, the Packers.
Yeah, I'm taking Green Bay all
But
day.
we also don't know what the Bears are going to do with those picks, right?
Sure, and that's their problem. And then we laugh at them come draft time because they'll screw it up.
Well, but Gabe, I saw you swallow hard there.
They didn't screw it up last year, though.
Right.
And they actually had a pretty good draft.
There's a new regime down there.
Yeah.
And you guys have always been on the case that Brian Gutekunst has screwed up the drafts, or at least one round of the drafts in the third round. You know, like, again, they're convenient arguments right now, but I think Joshy makes a really interesting inquiry. Are the Bears the most enjoyable team for Wisconsin sports fans to beat? And I think, not trying to take away from the situation we're in currently, but I think it's probably the Cubs. I think when Brewers beat the Cubs, there's an enjoyment level. Maybe it's because it's summer as well. I don't know. I don't want to get into all of the external variables that might contribute to quote unquote enjoyable. But especially with everything behind it now, with Craig Counsell being down there, I feel like that's going to be something fans really ride high on if the Brewers beat the Cubs.
But
because
play
it's the
so
same
often,
situation.
though. But no, they play so often. Like, they could win. Like, okay, great. Brewers won the 7-10 game on a Wednesday, and it doesn't even last 24 hours because they lose the day game the next day. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different because you only have the two in football. I think it's hard to match that when you're playing a dozen times in baseball.
How long did the shine on beating the Bears week 1 last?
Yeah.
Half the season?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. People are riding high.
But the problem with the Cubs Brewers, it's the Cubs are the Packers and the Brewers are the Bears. But it's not the fault of the Brewers. It's just baseball is unfair.
The last time,
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying from a fan standpoint, what are you getting more geeked up about? What are you getting higher on?
The last time a single Cubs game mattered as much, even close to a Bears game, was 163. Yeah. Like, other than that, I'd like to beat the Cubs, but it's kind of whatever to me.
But are you trying to attach the fact that if they win this game against the Bears, they're into the postseason to this inquiry, to this whole thing?
Yeah, because I think most oftentimes, we've seen it time and time again, the Packers and Bears oftentimes determine if one team or the other is going to the playoffs. Like, the stakes in the divisional games for the Packers and Bears are often way, way higher.
Yeah, you think of the year that Packers won the Super Bowl. They played the Bears the last week of the season. It was winning in for the Packers. Bears still played hard because they didn't want the Packers in. You think of the 2013 when Aaron Rodgers got hurt, came back. That was the de facto NFC North Championship game. Winner won the division. Loser went home. You know, so there have been some pretty high stakes games.
But is that
in
just how the
season.
schedule plays out? Look, we know that the NFL also tweaks its schedule to have some of those bigger rivalry games. They want division games at the end. If the Vikings and the Bears were switched this season and they played the Bears last week and got a win, would we be having the same conversations about the Vikings today? If they were playing the Vikings the final week of the season and it was a win and you're in, lose and you're out, would we be saying the same thing?
It's closer to the Lions then.
Yeah.
Vikings are closer to the Lions than they are the Bears.
Wow. Got a lot of people out there who think the Vikings are Resident Evil. They are enemy number one.
Maybe they live closer to the... But again, like, I don't really know that many Vikings fans.
But you know a lot of Bears fans.
And I know a lot of Bears fans.
800-990-3776. We need our fans to weigh in on this. Loyal listeners, help us out. Are the Bears the most enjoyable team for Wisconsin sports fans to beat? Let us know, 800-990-3776. We got to take a break, but we roll on right after this.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Gabe Neitzel from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy here. Don't let the chilly weather end your golf season. X-Golf and American Family Field is open all year round. They've got innovative and accurate golf simulators, all overlooking left field at AmFam Field. Enjoy daily lunch specials or have an outing with your friends and take in X-Golf's full bar and food menus. X-Golf AmFam Field is even offering golf lessons by a PGA pro. Everyone is welcome at X-Golf AmFam. Book your sim today, xgolfamfamfield.com. I'll see you out there.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You still thinking job change in the new year? Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy. IT? Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI. That's what I did. Really? How? Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up. Sweet. Are classes online or on campus? Both. Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
What's better than free? How about play free all year? This January at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee, you can win over $2,000 in reward play every month all year long. Just play your favorite games to earn prize drawing entries. Then stop by each Thursday night in January to see if you're a winner. $400,000 in prizes is up for grabs. Over 40 winners each week. Yeah, free is for me. More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 years old and a club member to play.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. My training helps me at work when I lead by example. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
I wish I was a better golfer.
Four is an odd word to yell.
Whoa, where'd you come from?
It's me, Flo, and I'm here to grant your wish of Progressive taking $50 off your deductibles. Just choose the Deductible Savings Bank feature and finish your policy period without filing a claim or having a driving violation.
Great, but what about my golf swing?
Oh, I just do insurance. Sorry.
Sign up for Progressive and opt into more savings. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
If you're just tuning in, this is Fan 23, Fansville's #1 sports radio station.
Brought to you by Tasty Dr. Pepper.
We are settling the great debate, best third quarter snack, hot dogs or nachos?
You know my mantra, Doug.
Yes.
Meaty early, cheesy late.
Well, it looks like we have a caller here to weigh in. Is this Chuck?
Popcorn in the third is the move.
What?
You go with passive snacking after halftime.
No, it's nachos.
Look, as long as there's an ice cold Dr. Pepper there to wash it down, I'm good with either. Dr. Pepper, the one fans deserve.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
And guess who didn't hit the hole? Zeke Elliott.
Ashton.
Well, I mean, yes. You all right back there?
That's so true.
It was a direct shot. She took out the sniper rifle and just...
She got right up to me, took out a Glock, and just shot.
Yeah, right in the balls.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Let's get right out to the phone lines here on this one. Are the Bears the most enjoyable team for Wisconsin sports fans to beat? Zach and Racine is waiting patiently on the line. Good morning, Zach. Are they?
Good morning. Thanks for having me on. And I would say for me, my reactions are I definitely have a visceral dislike for Bears or Bears paraphernalia or Bears fan. For example, on your sister station in Madison in the afternoon, they have that show where the gentleman co-hosts with Matt Hamilton. I refuse to listen because that guy's a Bears fan. So whereas the Vikings is like, they've been annoying recently, but they're not so bad. And the Cubs are just kind of sad sack, pathetic losers, whereas I just truly dislike the Bears and Bears fans. So for me, it's definitely the Bears that I hate the most and Bears fans.
Thank you
for the call.
Have you ever listened to ESPN 1000 or a Chicago sports talk show after the Packers beat the Bears to hear the Bears fans cry?
I've heard some of their whining, but I take too much joy in enjoying your much more well thought out and better Packer after show, so I don't feel the need to listen to the losers down that way.
This is a great call by Zach. He complimented Gabe in the postgame show and also got sad sack.
Underrated. Just an underrated insult.
That was great. We got more callers on the line. We got to take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. We're at the top of the hour. So if you're on the line, stay on the line. I do want to hear reaction to this. I do want to hear the opinions on this. Are the Bears the most enjoyable team for Wisconsin sports fans to beat? Let us know right after this.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
We're looking at a little bit of a slow ride out there. Southbound on 43, slowing down from before Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive, with the northbound side backed up from just about North Avenue up to Keith. We do have a broken down vehicle on southbound Fond du Lac Avenue right at I-43. Right lane is blocked with that. The westbound 94 slowing from 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. The eastbound hitting the brakes at 84th Street to about 35th. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, sun and clouds with a high of 33. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 25. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, Drew Scott here, and I'm Jonathan Scott, reminding you that life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance. They can help you get just the right protection at just the right price and help you save when you bundle home and auto. Kind of like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. It'll be just right for you. We love a custom build. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Elevate your game day gear or any outfit with official merchandise from the Milwaukee Bucks Pro Shop. From authentic jerseys to exclusive apparel and accessories, the Bucks Pro Shop has everything you need to showcase your fandom wherever you go. Cheer the deer to victory with authentic Milwaukee Bucks items. Visit us at the Bucks Pro Shop at Fiserv Forum or Bayshore Mall, or shop online at shop.bucks.com.
Hey, this is Gabe Neitzel. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
We were talking about computer arrogance and all that. Gabe, if we were to lock Chewy in a room.
Yep.
And we set in front of him his path out being two-factor authentication and having to reset a password, do you think he'd ever get out?
No.
Want to sell computers? I will show you how to sell computers.
Like Josh, I'm getting emails. I'm just not getting your email. So I think it's on your end.
What's okay, so
I just got one from businessloans.com.
Hello, Mr. Fenneman. You want to buy a computer? No? Why not? All right, I say good answer. Thank you.
You need me to dig a ditch with a backhoe? Consider it done.
Getting an email to pull up a stream?
Forget about it.
Not happening.
Serenity now!
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight, he ain't doing nothing but running.
Pretty big game for the Green Bay Packers this weekend as they take on the Bears. Final week of the season in a win and you're in the postseason situation. Never thought we would be here, to be honest with you. I thought that Jordan Love and the young offense would have its high moments, but would also have its lows. And at the end of the day, they'd be on the outside looking in. And that still could happen. But my goodness, there's a lot of excitement surrounding this game with the chance to make the postseason and gain that really important experience on that stage in those situations. And then you can bank them for next year. I think everything right now is kind of gravy with this squad. I know there are arguments and people who don't think that, who think that might be a loser's mentality and whatnot. But I still think they've done a lot of things right. And so even a loss this weekend would not negate all of the things that the Packers have done right this year. But there is a lot of reaction rolling in on this question of, are the Bears the most enjoyable team for Wisconsin sports fans to beat?
Also, if you win this game, if the Packers win on Sunday, make the playoffs, there's a real good chance they can move up to the 6th seed. Because the Rams, they're punting on the weekend. They're already in. They don't care. They're starting Carson Wentz. They lose. Packers win, have the same record, win the tiebreaker, get the 6th seed. Guess where you're going?
Detroit.
Where'd the Packers just win not that long ago?
Detroit.
It's kind of exciting.
That is exciting. Where else would they be? Dallas?
Yeah.
At home.
I guess you're not feeling as confident about that matchup,
I'm
Gabe.
having nightmares about CeeDee Lamb and the Packers playing zone.
Oh, my God, and all the storylines of McCarthy and Green
Yep.
Bay, and my goodness.
But
would
at
we
least
be
it wouldn't be
resurrecting
McCarthy
that
versus
all week?
Rodgers.
That's a very good point. Let's see. Chris from Brookfield weighing in on the talk and text line saying, nothing beats a win over the Cubs at home when AmFam Field is littered with FIBS. We can say that on the word? I don't know.
You can say fibs.
I didn't know. New year, new me. I'd rather err on the side of caution.
Can't wait till that goes out the window.
Went to college in Minnesota. For me, it's the Vikings, but darn, it's close. That from Dumpy in West Bend. Jared weighing in saying, hate the Vikings, respect the rivalry with the Bears, no feelings on the Lions. They're meh. Mike weighing in saying, I've lived on the Wisconsin-Minnesota border, and in southeastern Wisconsin, Bears fans are 1 million more Richards than Minnesota fans. I hate the Bears way more because the Bears still suck. Let's go out to the phone line. Rocky and Sheboygan, you're on with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Where do you stand on whether or not the Bears are the most enjoyable team for Wisconsin sports fans to beat?
I stand with the fact that the Bears have been pretty much irrelevant since Chewy started playing for the Packers.
Sure,
and
but I mean,
throw out.
I mean, they've been more relevant than the Vikings. They went to a Super Bowl.
No, they haven't.
No,
They
you're
went to a
wrong.
Super Bowl. The Vikings have not.
Chewy, who always cheap shotted you guys?
Yeah.
Or trash talk you guys, and I'll throw out two names, Randy Moss, and now you got the Packer receivers doing the gritty like they're Justin Jefferson in the end zone.
No, I agree. We hated, like I said, we didn't really see it as rivalries. We more hated the players. The Bears, when you played them, they felt they were going to lose, so there was just no juice there for us. But the Minnesota was actually pretty good. And they have been. They have been much better, I think, than the Bears have been over the past 20 years.
I get but it also comes down to this for me, and I know I asked one of our callers this. Like, I have never known a Packers fan to go, "Oh, we just beat the Vikings. I got to listen to K-Fan."
No, you're right.
Whereas Packer fans, like a lot of times after they beat the Bears, they're going to listen to ESPN 1000 down there in Chicago. They're going to hear they want to hear what that happens. And again, I know this because Big Cat called into our post-game show last year when the Packers lost to the Lions. Like, that was a big deal for Bears fans, even for the Packers to get knocked out.
What do you think Minnesota people say? Minnesota fans say?
I don't know. They're busy watching hockey.
No. Who's their rival?
It's the Packers.
Yeah.
But the Bears would say the same
And
thing.
then who would Detroit say? Detroit say Chicago?
Detroit, they don't have a rival because they haven't won a playoff game in 30 years, 40 years. But I look at it like this, Chew, because yes, well, us, like Brewers fans love beating the Cubs, and we think the Cubs are our biggest rival. Yeah. The Cubs' biggest rival's the Cardinals.
Yeah, sure.
You know, so that's the way I view the Vikings. Like, the Vikings are the Brewers in that analogy. Like, there's a real rivalry down here that they're trying to latch on to.
Brian weighing in on the talk and text line saying, it's the Vikings. From Randy Moss in 98 to tampering with Favre to actually getting Favre to the Vikings featuring Anthony Barr injuring Rodgers in their highlight video. There is nothing the Bears have done since the 1980s that makes it a bigger rivalry than the Vikings. And then Steve weighing in saying, it 1,000% depends on what part of the state you are from. I grew up in a small town in northwest Wisconsin. All that mattered was beating the Vikings because if they didn't, we had to deal with those Vikings fans every day. Is that the thing? Is it a proximity/location thing? It's if you're closer to the Vikings and you're closer to the Minnesota border, then it's the Vikings. But if you're down here in southeastern Wisconsin, it's the Bears.
I mean, I feel like in southeastern, southwestern, and south central, like I've lived in Milwaukee, Madison, Platteville. I've got the entire southern part of the state covered. I always feel it's been the Bears wherever I've lived.
I think we, as a Packers fan base, have largely memory hold the Bears' success as a team. Like, they were a competitive team in like this past 20 years. Now the Packers have dominated them for most of that, but Shea McClendon, that happened where he broke Aaron Rodgers' collarbone as well. There's plenty of big Bears moments and big Bears wins against the Packers.
Are there? Like they went to the Super Bowl with sexy Rexy Grossman.
Yeah, but all those years with Cutler, I mean, you knew, again, what did Charles Woodson say? We knew Jay was going to throw us the
Same
ball.
old Jay.
We knew he was going to throw us a couple type of thing. But I can't believe you pulled out a Shea McClendon, by the way. McClendon, I think was it?
I think it's McClendon.
Yeah.
Because that was a Monday Night Football game.
Yes.
Let's go out to the phone lines. John in Milwaukee's been waiting patiently on the line to get his take in. Good morning, John. John, is it the Bears or the Vikings? What's more enjoyable? Good morning, John.
Hello.
Hi, John.
Hey, John.
Good morning. Sorry.
What do you got?
Who do you hate?
I'm 64. I lived in Milwaukee my whole life. So I grew up in the 60s watching Packers, Bears, Vikings. And I just wanted to say, I had a lot more respect for Vikings fans back then when it was an outdoor stadium and they were tough and they loved their team and everything else. And over the years, I just kind of lost respect for them. I have a lot more respect for Bears fans who still have an outdoor team and love their team and all of that. But it's still more fun for me to beat the Bears just because they're closer in proximity. And I know way more people who are Bears fans than Vikings fans. So it's kind of a mixed thing. I have more respect for their fans, and yet I do like to beat them.
John, do you know how to set up email on a computer?
Definitely.
Go away. Go. Just
Ooh, talk
Hang
about
up
your
on
old
him.
time backfires.
Hang up on him. So it does feel like location is playing a small role in how you feel about this.
What's the biggest Packers victory over the Vikings in the last 30 years?
Last week?
I can rattle off a bunch of huge ones over the Bears. Yeah. NFC Championship game, 4th and Great, the game to get them into the playoffs in 2010. There are a bunch of Bears games that come to the top of your mind when you're going, big Packers victories that are just seminal victories for the Packers that meant a lot to their success. The Vikings are like, Wait, what's the biggest Vikings win we can think of?
This is because they won, Gabe. They won the big games. In 98, they crushed us twice. It was embarrassing, and they were a great team. They should have went to the Super Bowl.
They didn't.
Yeah, they did.
The Vikings?
They should. I said they should have.
But he said they didn't.
Right.
Which is the point.
Which is part of why we don't view them that way, because they haven't had the success.
What about with Favre, when Favre was there?
I hated him then.
Yeah, they pounded... Huh? I think it's just a little bit of PTSD.
But sure, the first two games, but then the Packers got those 2 wins back the very next year and went to the Super Bowl. The Packers got the last laugh over the Vikings, too.
Well, let me ask you this, guys. Are we now basically setting ourselves up for a generation or two down the road, those people being like, the Packers' biggest rival is the Lions? Because the Lions finally figured their bleep out, and they're a competitive team, and they're going to win the North. And I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm saying in my hypothetical situation, this is happening. They're going to win the North a few dozen times, and then all of a sudden, that's going to be the team that is the biggest rival of the Green Bay Packers. Maybe this whole thing is fluid. I kind of thought that the history between the Bears and the Packers would keep this sucker going in infinity. Forever. Mm-hmm. But maybe it changes again depending on how competitive those teams are. I could definitely see an argument where the Bears rivalry is not as important anymore because the Packers have been on the winning end of it so often.
Now, we have a song dedicated to the Chicago Bears and how much they stink.
How does it go again?
The Bears still suck. The Bears still suck.
What the heck?
I'm trying to
You've never heard that?
I don't know why he's going slow. I don't know why we decided
I've heard it. That was the worst version of it I've ever heard.
Since we just went down that line, I want to play a little quick interview from CBS 58. This is a man who was asked about the Bears game, and I just loved his reaction.
Any prediction for the game on Sunday?
Probably about 59-0.
Wow! What are you talking? You must really hate the Bears.
Doesn't everybody? The Bears still suck.
Yeah!
Feels very strongly about that, doesn't he?
Doesn't everybody? He was shocked that the question came. Oh, you must really hate him. What are you talking about? You hate the Bears too. Everybody does.
Go back out to the phone line. Andy in Raleigh, North Carolina, giving us a call this morning. Good morning, Andy. Where do you stand on this? What's the most enjoyable team for the Wisconsin sports fans to have their squad beat?
I think it's, as far as football, for me, it's beating the Vikings more than the Bears, but it's close. And I think it has a lot to do with what year I was born.
Okay, what year were you born?
1985.
Okay.
And the Bears have they've just been bad for so long. But Gabe's right. They have had some big wins. Like, if they would have lost that NFC Championship game in 2010, I probably wouldn't have gone to school the next day. Because there's a lot of Bears fans that I grew up with, and even today there's still a lot of Bears fans I live around. They're just a bigger fan base, being from Chicago. Like, my neighbor behind me is a huge Bears fan. So it still matters, but, the Vikings, there's just so much more hatred because of Favre, because of Randy Moss. So, I don't know, but it's close. I'll say that.
Appreciate the
I
call.
also really like beating the Boston Celtics and listening to their radio afterward.
Interesting.
Yes, we hope that happens a little more regularly going forward, right?
I
Well,
guess.
Did you guys hear the shot Fields took at Green Bay, though? Why didn't that get a ton of traction? Did you guys read it? Or
We sent it in the group chat.
Oh, okay. So I'm actually supposed to open those up and read them.
Well, you didn't even have to read that.
It was right in the...
It was just right there. If you wanted to listen to the 13-second clip, you could have opened it up.
Glance at it. Maybe just take a gandering. It doesn't even need to be a long look. It just, read the letters, top to bottom, left to right. Yes, we did see what Justin Fields said, though. And look, people have taken shots at Green Bay forever. But that's part of the charm of Green Bay, is that the Packers are the only show in town.
Old, tired joke.
Yeah, and we take the same shots.
Yeah. Can't get that mad at him.
Can't hurt my feelings.
All right, yeah.
I will say this. I did get Dario for Christmas tickets to Jerry Seinfeld. You guys know that Jerry Seinfeld is coming to Wisconsin?
Mm-hmm.
You know that? So I got him some tickets to Jerry Seinfeld. He loves Seinfeld, obviously. We love Seinfeld here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. And the first thing he asked me was, where's the show? And I was like, don't worry about it. It's in Green Bay.
You can stop at a nice chain restaurant
Swing by
before.
swing by Kohler or something like that. I don't know. We'll figure something out.
Go to Shoney's. I love
But
Shoney's.
the point is, I didn't want to tell him, we got to hike up. He goes up there for all the home games anyway, so it won't be that bad. It'll be great. We'll make it work. It'll be fantastic. Listen to me. Convincing myself.
I was about to say, you don't even sound like you're doing a job of convincing yourself.
I'm working very hard at it, Gabe. 800-990-3776. The question on the second hour of Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this morning has been, are the Bears the most enjoyable team for Wisconsin sports fans to beat? And what we're trying to do is figure out how much the team's relative success, right, the opponent's relative success over the years affects the ferventness of the rivalry. Like, how much oomph is behind the rivalry or behind the matchup. And I agree with the point that the Bears have been donkey for the last, 20 years, basically my whole adult life. It's fine. But the Vikings haven't been huge threats to the Packers.
Not really.
Spots either.
Yeah.
So I think this does come down to where you grow up or where you live. Because it does feel like a big portion of the state, Gabe, is picking the Vikings as the most hated rival or the team that is most enjoyable to beat.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how our poll ends up. I just think that there's a deep, because everyone's like, well, I still hate the Bears, but the Vikings more recent. Like, that hate for the Bears is always going to be underneath there. Like, and we've had a lot of callers say, oh, this is really close for me, but it's more because the Vikings recently, especially if the Bears get good, like, it's just going to come sprinting straight to the top. Like, it's always going to percolate, where the Vikings, I think the Vikings have if they stink for 30 years the way the Lions have, like, they could fall by the wayside there, where the Bears have kind of stunk, but they're still percolating. That's always right there.
Let me get a little more reaction in before we go to top 8 at 8. Justin in Jacksonville saying, I work with a Bears fan. He's delusional. I can't stand him. Okay. Sounds like it's personal. Dan weighing in saying, it's so true about location. I live on the southeastern border for 35 years of my life. It just jumped on me. God bless America. All my life I've heard Bears fans living in a constant state of delusion. Dennis weighing in saying, best man at my wedding wrote the Bears still suck. So if we ever want to get him on, he knows how to get a hold of him, which is good to know as well. I like this one from Steve. It's actually a lot like Michigan State, Michigan, Ohio State three-way rivalry. If you're a Michigan fan and you live near East Lansing, you care about that game. But if you're a Michigan fan anywhere else, all you care about is Ohio State. Either way, Green Bay and Michigan, far better than both. Green Bay and Michigan the rest.
Yes.
They're better
Yeah.
than the rest. Yes, they're atop the heap. And I think this is interesting, guys. And maybe we could talk about if this actually affected it. If Favre had gotten the job done with Minnesota, it would have shifted the hatred from the Bears to Minnesota and a lot of their fans.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because the Bears in my lifetime have not won a Super Bowl. Thankfully, won it right before I was born. And the Vikings have famously never won a Super Bowl. So, to me, neither of these teams have really had all that much success in my lifetime.
Are we overconfident, though?
In what?
This week.
I am not confident.
I asked you that an hour ago. Well, maybe 45 minutes
I know,
ago.
but I'm flipping because I'm going back to the Detroit game last year, did I tell you guys yesterday I thought they were going to boat race them? But the more I look at this thing, I'm like, all right, Gabe, I'm a little worried.
Yeah. Welcome to the party, pal.
I've been puckered for a week.
Really?
Basically, since the Vikings game went final.
Yeah.
All right, Gabe, you got a reader? You want me to hang out?
I've got one. I want to tell people about Perky's. Josh is getting a little nervous, so we got to calm those nerves. Get perked up. Let me tell you guys about Perky's Old Fashioned. It's the old fashioned mix with the booze already inside. Brandy bourbon for the limited time. Cranberry brandy options. You can get Grandma Perky's Secret wherever, whenever. All you need to do is add soda. So if you're a sweet person, sour person, that's all the soda you got to add, and you're good to go. What's great about Perky's as well, no matter what one you're looking for, the brandy bourbon or the cranberry brandy, you can find it by going to their website, perkysoldfashioned.com. They've got a search function there. You can see all the stores that are around you that carry Perky's. Super easy to find. Perky's Old Fashioned. Locally made, Wisconsin made. Your bartender in a bottle.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Southbound on 43, slowing down from Bender Road all the way down past Capitol Drive to about Locust. Northbound side's going to be slow from about Fond du Lac Avenue up to Keefe. Eastbound 94 also has its own backups. It's basically from 84th Street to about Hawley Road. Then it opens up. You're okay until you get to the stadium. Then it starts to tighten up a little bit as well. Westbound 94 actually looking pretty good. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, sun and clouds with a high of 33. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 25. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie LaHaziga on 94.5 ESPN.
Weather is brought to you by Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center in Waukesha. Play Whistling Straits and other Pro Tour courses, whatever the weather is, in one of their 12 state-of-the-art simulators.
Yeah, they're football guys, but they don't shy away from the big topics of the day.
Good morning, Tausch. How are you? Old T's I'm not feeling 100%. Tummy ache?
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Also sponsored by American Family Insurance.
No, I think with all that little stuff that's going around, and I'm going to grind.
Weekdays 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right. Get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Hey, it's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Brust. Men can be their own worst critics, especially as we get older and compare our current self to the younger version. The experts at Forward Healthy Lifestyles in Germantown help men with testosterone optimization, regenerative medicines, heart health screenings, weight loss, and yes, sexual enhancement services. Forward Healthy Lifestyles can offer regained energy and endurance, more muscle and tone, enhanced performance, joint therapies, and more. Change your life and stop comparing who you are now to who you used to be. Visit forwardhealthylifestyles.com for a free consultation.
Bikers need protection, not just from other drivers, but unfortunately from insurance companies too. If you've been injured in a motorcycle crash, call Gruber Law Offices today. Bikers are often blamed for causing the accident because the insurance companies simply don't want to pay. At Gruber Law Offices, we've been fighting for injured bikers and their families for more than 30 years. Trust us to fight for what you deserve. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
What's better than free? How about play free all year? This January at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee, you can win over $2,000 in reward play every month all year long. Just play your favorite games to earn prize drawing entries. Then stop by each Thursday night in January to see if you're a winner. $400,000 in prizes is up for grabs. Over 40 winners each week. Yeah, free is for me. More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 years old and a club member to play.
The top 8 at 8.
Name something that follows the word pork. You pine. Huh?
One category.
Name something people take with them to the beach. Turkey.
The top 8 answers.
The first thing you buy in a supermarket. Turkey.
The top 8 at 8.
A food often stuffed. Turkey.
The top 8 at 8 on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Name Popeye's favorite food.
Chicken.
Show me chicken!
The top 8 at 8 on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Before we get to Gabe's list this morning, we want to go out to Guy in Staten Island, New York. He wants to weigh in on what's the most enjoyable team for Packers fans to beat, or Wisconsin sports fans. Good morning, Guy.
Hey, good morning, Miss Jen. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for calling in.
All right. Like they say, the Bears still suck, but I can't stand that guy from Minnesota. You got to help me with that thing that he blows. I want to break in about 100 pieces when he blows that thing.
With that thing that he
blows. Sound.
That guy?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a violent person, but I can't stand that thing. It makes me sick.
I hated him too.
Guy, we appreciate you weighing in on that. Yeah, go ahead.
One more thing. Hey, Chewy.
Yo.
Get yourself a Jack Russell. He'll keep you busy.
Hey, forget about it.
You throw the ball, he'll fetch. All right, guys, take care.
Little Jack Russell Terrier for Chew.
I'm instating a rule on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. If Guy ever wants to call, he goes to the front of the line every time.
Yeah.
Every time.
Absolutely. I'm in on that. We will continue getting to your reaction. There has been an awful lot of it rolling in this morning as we ask you in advance of this Packers-Bears game this weekend, a win and you're in situation. Are the Bears the most enjoyable team for Wisconsin sports fans to beat? Gabe, what's our list today?
List 8 things in front of me. You and Chew will guess back and forth. Once you each get one incorrect, then we'll open it up to the fans at 800-990-3776. Person who gets the last one correct wins a prize pack, an ESPN Milwaukee prize pack. I am just looking for the last 8 selections for the Green Bay Packers to the Pro Bowl. Last 8 Packers Pro Bowl selections.
I mean, are these alternates, Gabe?
No,
or
just
are they
the original selections.
Okay.
Jair.
Jair was the Packers' lone Pro Bowl selection last season.
Elton.
Elton Jenkins made it in 2020.
Crap, I'm just trying to think if Aaron Rodgers, he's got to be on the list, right? Don't blinky blink at me. Why are you doing that? Why are you eh-ing? Now Gabe's trying to stone face me so I can't read his reactions. All right, hold on a minute. What's the category?
Last 8 Packers Pro Bowl selections.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, dude won 2 MVPs. Think he got selected to a Pro Bowl?
I just wanted to make sure. Sorry. Again, new year, new me. Old me would have just blurted out random responses. Now I'm actually trying to think about it.
Since Aaron, he didn't go last year. It was the year before when D-Bach was actually. Let's go D-Bach.
Also made it in 2020, like Elton Jenkins.
How about Devontae Adams when he was on the Green Bay Packers?
Devontae made it.
How many do we have? Can you reset the list?
Last 8 Packers Pro Bowl selections, you have 5. Jair, Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, David Bakhtiari, and Elton Jenkins.
Let's go with that guy. That guy.
Mm-hmm. I need you to be more specific.
He played for Minnesota. Zadarius.
I thought that was going to be a tough one. Zadarius Smith was a Pro Bowler in 2020.
Wow. All right, nice work, nice work.
Who's laughing now, Joshy?
Who's laughing, period?
Yeah, eat it, Josh.
Crap, I just got marked.
See, Joshy says crap in my ear that you guys can't hear.
Meanwhile, Jen's drawing on herself.
I was trying to put it back in the cap, and I missed 3 times.
I thought you had a booger on your hand.
Blue?
Well,
if your booger is blue, consult your doctor. Maybe not
my
doctor.
My $130 computer doesn't have the greatest pixels, or is that what they're called? Josh, a little help.
It's amazing that your pink computer wouldn't be able to identify colors.
Spent $130 on a computer?
Yeah, I think it's
no wonder it stinks.
How much should we be spending on a computer? At least $200, right? $300?
I'm probably not buying one under $500.
Yeah.
I don't have permission to buy one under $500. I can go on my own and get one for $120 or $130.
That's part. You saved up your weekly allowance, and that's what you were able to afford.
Exactly.
800-990-3776. I should think people should start getting lined up.
Yeah. I was about to say, you guys are going
for top 8 today. Give us who is on the list again.
Jair, Rodgers, Devontae, Bakhtiari, Jenkins, Zadarius Smith. Just 2 left on the last 8 Pro Bowl selections.
They got to go back pretty far then, right?
No.
Oh.
The Packers were 13-3 for 3 straight years.
Yeah, but how many Pro Bowlers did they have? And he's talking about non-alternates. Just straight up.
Did they date past 2019? Because I'd say no.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. He's so proud of himself.
Harumph. You gave us a harumph. Oh, crap. Oh, I don't know.
I got one.
How about Aaron Jones? Jones?
Made it in 2020. We just got one left.
Devondre Campbell.
Devondre Campbell was not a Pro Bowler.
You suck. Sorry. That was
How long has Devondre Campbell been on the Green Bay Packers?
He was all-pro.
Yeah, he was an all-pro, but he was not a Pro Bowler.
What, last year?
What?
He was an all-pro, what is that, in 21?
And he didn't make the Pro Bowl?
Did not make the Pro Bowl in 2021.
Oh, wow, I'm out.
800-990-3776. Apparently, we only have one left. And they're all since 2019. It's impressive. 800-990-3776. We start with Matt in Cedarburg. Matt, you're on with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Can you complete our top 8 at 8 list?
What was the last one? I think I missed one in between being on hold.
I will set you. So there's just one left. So 7 of the 8. Last 8 Packers Pro Bowl selections, not alternates. They desperately needed people.
Okay.
So the last people who have been selected: Jair, Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, David Bakhtiari, Elton Jenkins, Darius Smith, Aaron Jones are 7. We just need the last one.
Rasul Douglas.
Rasul Douglas was not a Pro Bowler for the Green Bay Packers.
Good guess, though.
Harumph.
I forgot about it.
That's how I'm going to respond to all the misses now. Let's go out to Mike in Franklin. Mike, you're up next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Can you complete our top 8 at 8 list?
Devondre Campbell.
Devondre Campbell, already incorrectly guessed by Chewy, so you get another strike at it.
Oh, okay. Julius Peppers.
Julius Peppers is incorrect.
Harumph.
That's way back.
Yeah, he just got, he's on the Hall of Fame list, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a semifinalist.
David in Cedarburg, you're up next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Can you complete our top 8 at 8 list? David? Kenny Clark. There you are.
Kenny Clark was a Pro Bowler in 2021. That closes out the list.
All right, David, you're our big winner this morning. Congratulations. You win an ESPN Milwaukee prize package. Josh, you will go ahead and get your information. And I'm going to tell you about my friends over at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. It is in the heart of downtown Milwaukee. There's an all-new spot where you should spend some time. There's a table waiting for you with 12 bars and restaurants, a winning seat at 40 table games, 3,000 slot machines, plus the thrill of bingo, full-service sports betting, and more. If you're ready to spark something new, you know, it is a new year and whatnot, lots of things going on, you should head over to the Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Light up your senses there. Explore more at paysbig.com, paysbig.com.
Full show podcasts, interviews, and special content is available right now at WisconsinOnDemand.com. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on 94.5 ESPN.
Right now, we are seeing some delays out there right now. Southbound 43 backing up from just south of Bender Road all the way down to about Locust. Northbound's backed up from Fond du Lac Avenue up to Keefe. Eastbound's doing a little bit better on 94, just a little bit backed up from 76th Street all the way to about Hawley Road. Rest of the system moving along very well. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Sun and clouds with a high of 33. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 25. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hi everyone, John Miller here from PDS, a Converge company. PDS has been providing technology solutions and transforming IT for area companies for over 30 years. Today, we are helping organizations integrate digital workplace strategies that are giving today's worker the true ability to work from anywhere as they balance work and life both securely and productively. And as HP's largest partner in the area, our combined solutions have never been more important. If you're struggling with this, know we stand ready to help. From ideation to transformation, we can help you evolve your work from anywhere strategy. Learn more at pdsit.net.
Join the roar of 18,000 Bucs fans at Fiserv Forum and be a part of the slam dunks, game-changing plays, and electrifying victories live. Witness the edge-of-your-seat action and unforgettable moments as they happen. You don't want to miss this. Grab your calendar, handpick your favorite matchups, and secure your seats for Dame time in Milwaukee and every incredible moment that comes next at Bucs.com/tickets. That's Bucs.com/tickets.
Fleet Farm has everything you need for happy backyard birds. And we mean everything. Like over 100 different types of wild bird foods and bird feeders. This week, get a 25-pound bag of black oil sunflower wild bird food for just $13.99. Plus, join us Saturday, January 13th at 9 a.m. to build and decorate a free birdhouse with your kids. Create family memories and find what you need for everyday life at Fleet Farm.
I haven't had anything to eat for days, and being hungry hurts.
Going without oil changes can destroy your engine, but it doesn't compare to the effect of going without food. That's why the Automobile Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee is determined to make sure no one goes to bed hungry. Through the end of February, they'll donate $1 from every oil change to Feeding America, Eastern Wisconsin. Every dollar provides 3 healthy meals. Over the past 13 years, Adam has donated over $820,000, providing more than 2.4 million meals to people across southeastern Wisconsin, the majority being children and seniors. And with today's ongoing challenges, the need is greater than ever. So help the hungry while helping your vehicle. Get your oil changed by Adam Dealer Factory Trained Techs at a price as low or lower than independent shops. Visit an Adam member dealer near you.
For a list of participating dealers, visit adamm.com.
Get your game on at the Island Resort and Casino with first-round picks of your favorite slots and table games. Watch your team compete on big screens in Team McSee's Sports Bar or the Sports Illustrated Sportsbook Room. Yes, you can bet the spread, parlays, futures, and more with Sports Illustrated Sportsbook at Island Resort and Casino. Your place to bet on sports. To book a game time getaway at the Island, call 800-682-6040 today.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I have told you how many times? Do not mess with electricity, Chew.
And I don't. I did. I did. But I don't.
Incident?
There was one.
Plumbing, you're going to get wet. Electricity, you're going to die.
On 94.5 ESPN.
hometown pizza, and they have so many different varieties. But within Screamin' Sicilian, they have so many different varieties there. And they're going to find a slice that's going to meet your appetite. Whether you're looking for something like, I don't know, their Screamin' Sicilian I'm Stuffed, the stuffed crust pizza that has over 2.5 feet of cheese stuffed in the crust with that artisan crust that you've come to love with Screamin' Sicilian, the regular Screamin' Sicilian. Or maybe you want the thin and crispy, maybe even a little bit of a thinner crust. You can get their pub style. You can get the dessert style pizza. You can get their stromboli. So many different things within Screamin' Sicilian. You're going to find something that you love and your family loves. So keep an eye out for Palermo's and Screamin' Sicilian in the freezer section of your local grocery store. Palermo's, it's Wisconsin's hometown pizza.
Flicking through a little book of sex tips.
A milestone moment for Jordan Love this week as he was named Offensive Player of the Week. Obviously well-deserved. The first time he has won it in his career, and the jokes that were made on social media were, and he didn't even have to face the Packers defense to do it. So kudos to Jordan Love. It got us thinking about those incentives that we have been paying very close attention to all season long. You know, we talked when Jordan signed that extension with the Green Bay Packers about how it had a lot of escalators in it, a lot of incentives for him to make up some of the money that maybe he wouldn't have gotten otherwise. So it turns out, Chew, that Jordan has made himself a pretty penny already this season. In fact, $2 million in escalators has already been clinched by the quarterback. He played 65% of the offensive snaps. That cannot change no matter what happens against the Bears this weekend. Top 16 in passing touchdowns. He's actually third.
Mm-hmm.
Top 10 in passing touchdowns. Top 16 in passing yards. He ranks 10th. So that right there, with each of those having $500,000 on the line, cha-ching, 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 cha-ching for Jordan Love. Now, there are some opportunities this weekend for him to make a little more money. I believe there's at least $2.5 million available to be earned with his performance this weekend. But a few of these would be very tough to get. So let me go over those very quickly. Top 16 in passer rating, he's currently 11th, so that will likely happen with a good performance. Top 10 in passing yards, he is currently 10th, so really teetering on that one, on passing yards. Top 10 in passer rating, 10th. The good news for Jordan is, I believe, Gabe, you tell me if I'm wrong, a lot of the guys who would be above him on that list will not be playing this weekend. Some of their teams have clinched already, so they will be sitting. So that does help him. You know, they can't improve their numbers, but he can improve his numbers. So that theoretically means he could bump himself up even higher on the list.
Yeah, depending upon the category. Passer rating, passer rating's all dependent upon how he plays in the game, right? Like yes, he could improve it, could decline it. Obviously, some of the counting stats like passing touchdowns, you're pretty much blocked into those. The completion percentage, that's going to be tough to do. Tough to move up in that one at this point in the season.
Chewy, he is ranked 21st, respectively. But we were trying to figure this out during the break because if you try to go to NFL.com or ESPN.com or even StatMuse or something like that, they all have, Sean Clifford, for instance, has a 100% passer rate.
So I went to ProFootballReference.com.
Completion percentage, excuse me.
Yeah, they've got the qualified passers. So Jordan is currently 21st in completion percentage. Mm-hmm. Right now, 16th would be Mac Jones. In order to surpass Mac Jones and to get to 16, Jordan Love would have to go 30 for 30.
Well, that's possible.
Mac's no longer playing, but yes, you would have to go 30 for 30 to get to that.
I got to be honest, though, Chew, even if he does end up leaving that $1 million on the table because he can't get into the top 10 or top 16 in completion percentage, you said Mac Jones was 16th,
yeah,
right?
16th. To get to, 20th is probably like 60 for 60.
20th.
To get that high. To get to 10th.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, to get to 10th, which would be Russell Wilson, who also is not playing. He's at 66.4%.
I distinctly remember us, I don't want to say mocking, but we were definitely skeptical about Jordan Love's ability to nail some of these incentives / escalators when this news came out all those months ago. Were we just, to use a word that Chewy used earlier, morons? Or has he absolutely surpassed and superseded every single expectation that was out there for him?
Yeah, I think he's knocked it out of the ballpark. Yeah.
But this is a pittance to what he's going to get in May. Because if I'm his agent, it could be bumpy because I would be advising him, okay, well, he's not going to go to OTAs. I know people don't want to hear that, but the agent is there to work for him. And then if the threats become big enough, you might hold him out of training camp.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Are you trying to convince me right now on January, what is it, Gabe? 4th. On January 4th, 2024, that Jordan Love might not go to training camp because he's holding out for the Packers to give him that big deal that he has obviously earned this year?
I'm just saying, if I'm representing him, all I care about is my client.
There's no chance.
I think this is going to be easy. This is
Let me tell you what.
guy.
When I
want to give him the bag.
Yeah, but how big's the bag going to be?
$50
When I
million a
was
year?
in my rookie year, right, they asked me to take a pay cut because they took me on IR. I had no leverage. I had to do it. But I could tell you what, when I did have the leverage, I went back to him and said, you know that money you took from me in my rookie year? I want that in my next contract.
I can't state how much of a PR misstep it would be to do a hold-in or a holdout for Jordan Love. I think he understands intimately the way Aaron Rodgers lost the fan base, and I think he can trust them at this point to pay him what he deserves.
Yeah,
Which is what?
45 to 50.
Right. Which, again, is just the going rate right now for a franchise quarterback.
Are there any other quarterbacks up this year or one that has to be restructured? Because if you look, I mean, who would you compare him to right now? I mean, Josh Allen got paid a few years ago, right?
Yeah.
And he broke the bank. What's Josh Allen's probably making over 50?
No, he's. I can get that number for you.
And
in just a
Aaron is
second.
the top. Aaron is the top at 60.
Not after his pay cut.
I don't know. I don't know what the Packers are
The
going to
numbers
offer.
I've seen out there, and again, they're just people speculating, but I've seen 4 years, 180, which again would be more than the 4 years, 160 that Daniel Jones famously
Daniel
got.
Jones shouldn't even be in the discussion.
Doesn't matter,
Do you
man.
agree?
He got paid. If you're a starting quarterback, that is the
Yeah,
minimal
but that's
you get.
good for Jordan Love saying,
Yes.
look, this clown got the X amount.
100%. And he has the same agent, Chew.
I mean,
I'm just saying, this thing is not going to be kissy smoochy as smooth as you guys think. You think it is?
I'll place a bet on that. Yeah.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
going to be pretty smooth.
So the Packers are going to come to him, or is he coming to the Packers?
I bet.
I mean, as far as coming down, or the Packers coming up to what he wants?
Well, and Gabe just pointed it out to us in the break that Rob Domofsky did put out an article. It is on ESPN.com this morning. And in that article, he does break down what a new deal could look like. So let me just read from the internet really quickly. 3 different NFL sources, one with an NFL team and 2 with player agencies, had differing opinions on what a new deal would look like for Love, which illustrates the unusual situation of having to pay a quarterback who sat for the first 3 years of his NFL career and then excelled in his first season as a starter. One agent source said it would be in the range of $30 million per year with option bonuses that would provide protection for Love and the team.
You're crazy.
What?
Yeah.
Hold on. Another
Okay,
source from
I'm
the
sorry.
agent side estimated a deal would pay Love well above $40 million, suggesting it could come where in the $45 to $50 million range. Everyone has to be above Daniel Jones, the source said, referring to that 4-year, $160 million deal. So there you go. And the franchise tag, for what it's worth, guys, will be in the $35 million range. So he will definitely be able to say that he should go up above that.
Yes. So, Chewy, just quickly, quarterbacks making $40 million annual average value are Dak, Matthew Stafford, and Daniel Jones. Josh Allen makes $43 million and change. Patrick Mahomes is $45. Deshaun Watson, $46. Kyler Murray, $46.1. Russell Wilson, $48.5. Jalen Hurts, $51. Lamar, $52. Justin Herbert, $52.5. And Joe Burrow leads the pack at $55 million per year.
All right, so slow that down a little bit because I think that's actually really interesting information.
And then stop it on someone who you think is comparable to what he should get.
Yeah, so let's go back to the middle of the pack there. I mean, should he get Josh Allen money? Yes.
More?
Yes.
I mean, probably more. He hasn't performed to the level of Josh Allen, but he should get more than that because that's the way it goes.
The
Yeah,
market?
I would put him in that $46 million range. Because,
Or give me some of it, like Kyler Murray.
yeah, $46.1 million.
More. Keep going.
Jalen
Who's the
Hurts
next-
is 51.
More.
All of a sudden, he's that dude from the Star Wars movie, just screaming, more!
Hurts?
Yeah.
More than Jalen Hurts?
I would say at least as
He went
much.
to a Super Bowl. He nearly
And
won it.
lost. And didn't back it up.
I mean, they're locked in.
What do you
playoffs
think agents
right now.
do? Agents shoot for the moon. They're not going to say, okay, we'll
Yeah.
take 43.
So Lamar's at 52.
Yeah, so I would think the agent's going to come at 50, and the Packers are going to say, how about 43?
Yeah, they're going to end up at 46.
Yeah.
I doubt. If I'm his agent, I'm not saying 46. I'm not.
Well, no, it's a negotiation, famously.
Sure.
But are you telling me that Jordan Love wouldn't? To me, that feels like a good contract for Jordan Love.
Yeah.
You're trying to say, Chewy, that his agent will have done him dirty if
All
he
right,
settles at 46.
Jordan Love will sign with the Packers for $48 million a year.
4 years?
4 years, $48 million.
I'll take the under. Average annual value.
You can go home now.
Yeah, right. I mean, right around there. I mean, it's between 45 and 50, I think, is where the number ends up being.
And I said 180 was what I had read. Again, speculation on the internet. Don't take it as gospel. But that
45
is 45. Right. So I just did the quick math on my calculator because I can't do it in my head. It's 192. So if you're trying to do the comp of 4 160 Daniel Jones, what we just said 4 180, yours would be 4 192. Did that make sense to you, or did I lose you?
Yeah, but let's sit on this for a while. Come up with a bet. Come up with a bet between the four of us and see who wins.
So what, we just all have to pick what we think Jordan Love's contract will look like, and whoever, is it Price is Right rules?
No.
Why? $1, Bob. I'll just wait for all you bozos to go high.
I think we all got to put it in a hat, write it on a piece of paper, and then come up with some kind of bet. No, so I can't.
Just I don't think we do years in total money. I think the easiest way to do this is just whatever the average is. Whatever his average per year is.
Okay.
If we're going to do some sort of bet, that's the easiest way to do it.
48. Oh, I'm not supposed to say it out loud.
I don't know why we're putting it in a hat. That doesn't make sense to me.
He just doesn't want your answer to be influenced by his answer.
Well, his answer's bad, so I'm not worried about him.
He said 40. No, he said 50.
I didn't say anything
He said 48.
I thought I said 48.
He said 48. That's where the Packers were going to settle.
He said 46 they would settle, because you said 43 and 50.
I said 46.
And he said they have to settle at 48.
And then he said 48.
Does that mean I have to pick a new number because he got 48?
Who knows?
Maybe this is why we had to put it in the hat.
But then we got to come up with some kind of bet. Joshy's already lost. Yeah, you're horrible.
I think this is just a Chewy and Joshy
I think you are underestimating, Chew, what Gabe mentioned earlier, which is that this is Goody's guy.
Yeah, so he's going to overpay for him.
Yeah, that's my point. That's why I don't think this is going to be contentious. I think Jordan.
But it's also not going to be $43 million.
Goody wants to give him the bag. Yeah, we're all in agreement there.
Not Josh.
I've said he's going to make over $40 million.
Well, 43 is over 40.
Yeah, you said 48.
Do you think 43?
I think that's a fair number. I think 43 to 46 is probably where it lands.
Okay, so hold on. Let's go back to what that list was that you rattled off. Where does Dak Prescott rank on that list?
Dak is tied for 10th with Matthew Stafford and Daniel Jones at $40 million a year.
And where's Kyler Murray?
Kyler Murray is 6th at $46.1 million.
Why do you keep bringing up Kyler Murray? Do you think he's a comp?
His contract could be.
Hey, turn your phone off.
That's not my phone.
Who's calling you right now? Don't people know you do a show until 9 o'clock?
No.
That's not my phone.
Whose is it? Frankie Bag of Donuts?
Hey, on the stream, you can see just his midsection because he's looking for the noise.
All right, I'll be back.
What a nut. I mean, he's our nut, but he's still a nut. All right, I think on that note, we should just...
He's back.
It's my computer. How do you shut it off?
Oh, now you want some computer arrogance.
What is it, John? How do I shut it off?
I have no idea what that is. Did you set an alarm on your computer?
It sounds like an alarm. It's on your phone. It's an alarm on your phone.
It's not my phone.
Somebody else's phone? It's like somebody's trying to do the Find My iPhone thing right now.
Oh, maybe.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, maybe Angie lost something, and so she hit the Find My.
Oh, okay. I'll go deliver it.
He just wanted to leave the show early. That's pretty much what was happening there. We'll take a break on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. See if we've solved the mystery right after this.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN. Untethered, unfiltered, and unbothered.
I waited till there was about 5 minutes left in my drive to make that call. I made the call and she said, "Baby, what's wrong?"
Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN, presented by Bud Light, the official beer of the NFL. And sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
And I said, the explicitive Packers is wrong. That's what's wrong.
Weekdays from 2 to 5, right here on 94.5 ESPN. And subscribe to the show on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get podcasts.
What's better than free? How about play free all year? This January at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee, you can win over $2,000 in reward play every month all year long. Just play your favorite games to earn prize drawing entries. Then stop by each Thursday night in January to see if you're a winner. $400,000 in prizes is up for grabs. Over 40 winners each week. Yeah, free is for me. More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 years old and a club member to play.
Don't go through another year with that awful joint pain. Call QC Kinetics right now and make 2024 the year that you are back living normal life again. Hey, this is Brad Nortman. QC Kinetics can give you your life back. They are the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. These all-natural treatments can repair and restore that damaged tissue, giving you pain-free movement again. QC Kinetics has tens of thousands of satisfied patients around the country. People who had knee pain, back pain, shoulder pain, who are able to get lasting relief with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. If you have pain from an old injury or pain associated with arthritis, you need to check this out. The future of medicine is here. Regenerative treatments from QC Kinetics. Make the call now so you can get the most out of 2024. Get back to doing what you love. And don't forget, you can use your HSA and FSA funds. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. Call 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Again, 414-285-3474.
Homer here. There's a good chance you're on a budget. We all are. She wants a diamond. You know it, I know it, and Robert Hack Diamonds knows it too, because they offer a huge selection of lab-grown diamonds, and they sell them at crazy prices. How about 2-carat total weight diamond studs for $9.99? Robert Hack Diamonds can get any size, shape, or clarity in natural or lab-grown diamonds. Don't buy until you call Robert Hack Diamonds. $9.99 for a 2-carat pair of diamond studs. Oh, baby! Robert Hack Diamonds in Greenfield and Brookfield. Why overspend when you can save at Robert Hack Diamonds for the same diamond you're looking for? Better for less. Some jewelers are charging nearly $5,000 for a lab-grown diamond. Not Robert Hack. Your visit will be worth it. Robert Hack also offers repair services and cash for your old gold. They got some of mine. Remember, before you do anything, call Robert Hack Diamonds. Visit RobertHackDiamonds.com for information, RobertHackDiamonds.com, and visit them in Brookfield or in Greenfield.
TaxAct can think of a million things more fun than filing taxes. TaxAct is going to name some now. Sitting in traffic. Folding a fitted bedsheet. Listening to your coworker talk about his fantasy team. Digging a hole. Digging an even larger hole next to that original hole. Unfortunately, TaxAct's filing software can't make taxes fun. But TaxAct can help you get them done. TaxAct. Let's get them over with.
At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk, like getting up to 25% off drywall boards. Plus, get an extra 5% off every day on eligible purchases when you use your Lowe's business credit card. Visit us in-store or online for low prices on the materials you need. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. 5% offer subject to credit approval. Exclusions and terms apply. See store or Lowe's.com/credit for details.
You are listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Yes, that would have been much worse than what ended up happening.
Finally got the which would be worse and what would be better. Finally, we figured it out.
You can't just be showing your junk on national TV.
It would have got a lot of clicks.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Here we go.
You know what makes me happy? My wife being happy. That's why I go to the Jewelry Center. Let's be honest. Most guys don't have a clue when it comes to buying jewelry. Gabe's one of the smart ones. He just got engaged again and got the ring and the wedding bands from the Jewelry Center for his wedding last year. They also do in-house repairs for watches and other fine jewelry, like my championship ring when it needs work. I know where I'll be taking it to, the Jewelry Center. They have 3 locations to stop into, Greenfield, Brookfield, and Burlington. And if my wife can't tag along, she can just text me a picture of what she wants. The Jewelry Center can custom create any piece from just a photo. I'm living proof. Happy wife, happy life. The Jewelry Center will make it happen. Brookfield, Greenfield, and Burlington, and online at shoptjc.com.
Here we go.
Did you figure out what that sound was?
Yeah, it was job arrogance. That's what it was.
You're going to have to be a little more specific.
Well,
Who
it was my
has job arrogance?
It was my wife who left her iPad on the treadmill because she watches her movies on that and couldn't find it, so she decided to hit it, and it was in here. That's job arrogance, right? Is that job arrogance?
What do you
My
mean?
job's more important than yours?
Oh, I see.
I mean, but in fairness, is she wrong?
She could have waited 6 minutes to try and find it, Gabe.
Sure.
Right?
Or maybe a little text. Hey, is my iPad there? I mean, it made for good content. I'm glad we solved the mystery. So
But
is she coming back to get it, or is she just going to...
No, I had to deliver it.
Hand deliver.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, was that the expectation all along? Like she knew it was in there, and if she hit it enough, she knew you would deliver it?
No, she's just kind of like peeing in the room and saying, I'm home now.
Maybe she thought you were going down a bad path in your Jordan Love contract conversation, and she saved you with the ding, because then you'd have to go find it, and you'd pull yourself out of arguing about Jordan Love's money. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe she had your back the whole time.
She doesn't listen anymore because she just gets upset.
Why? I don't know.
Because I usually say things that I'm not supposed to say on there.
So the solution is not to listen?
Out of sight, out of mind, that sort of thing.
All right, fair enough. Let's check in on the polls, guys. If you at any time refer to your doctor as a moron, should you find a new doctor? This is brilliance by Joshy, by the way, to absolutely jump all over that. 84% of people are saying yes, no moron doctors.
Seems low.
Yeah, you should. If you call your doctor a moron, find a new doctor. There's plenty of them. There's not a recession of doctors. Is it acceptable to say Happy New Year on January 4th if it's the first time you see people? 70% of people say it's fine.
We need to change the social norms around that.
You're out on it, huh?
Out.
Should you be able to lease a dog like you lease a vehicle? 87% of people say no, that's ridiculous.
I thought it was a good idea.
And most importantly, which team is the most enjoyable for Wisconsin sports fans to watch their teams beat? 53% of people say the Chicago Bears, 25% of people say the Minnesota Vikings, and 21% of people say the Chicago Cubs. Thanks for hanging out with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Wilde and Tausch is next on ESPN Milwaukee.
We are looking at some delays along southbound 43, although they are getting better, just a little bit backed up from Silver